Hi guys, Lord Master here. I'm bringing you some patch notes on Sandbox Alpha version 0.073. Just came out today, and you wonder, well, Lordy, why aren't you showing you the game? Well, I would love to. I've actually shot this video about 6 times. 6 times I've tried to shoot this video, but something has gone wrong in this patch update. I'm not sure what. I'm starting to think it's not me because my computer doesn't really have problems like that. But it has crashed about 4 to 5 minutes in every single time. So I'm gonna bring it. The first thing you will notice here is deliberate Alan Goodson. Big fan of my videos. He's just done an epic Superior map. I just want to show that off. I mean, just look at the detail he's done in here. He's got all the little paths, the wolf hotspots, the deer hotspots. He's got all the signs and color. And it's beautiful. It's the best map I've seen so far. Rob Dorr did a good map, but this is just taken it to a whole nother level. So give that guy a round of applause. Alan Goodson. That is an awesome map. Very much approve. But yeah, and then my next video, once hopefully this gets patched and I figure out what is going wrong, we'll get that fixed. But your save game files are all gone now. Because I tried that earlier. Yes, they encoded the save games and the user private files are now encrypted. So all your save games are gone, so you're going to start all over again, which is not a problem. It's alpha. This stuff happens. I mean, not being able to play today is probably, it's not happened the first time it's happening in alpha, but that's okay. New nav mesh had been generated for the Mystery Lake region. I did notice that, because they had some issues with stuck and flooding stuff, but another new thing, I think this was always a thing, but I'm not sure. F9 now takes a debug screenshot, because I use Fraps to record the long dark, and every time I do that, I hit F9 to record, I get a screenshot on my desktop. I'm like, oh, what's going on? But that was it. So just for they've had a lot of fall through the world collisions. So where you're going, you might fall through the world. So they're trying to get people to take screenshots as you're falling, and the image that has the coordinates, so they can try to fix those bugs as quick as they can. And another thing they fixed, the problem with the wolf was sliding while I was playing Italian animation, something I had noticed. It wasn't really a big deal. I mean, it's alpha. I don't expect miracles, but a lot of general art and animation fixed. I noticed there was a little more detail in the drawers and stuff when I was opening it earlier when I did get to play. So that was something kind of cool. And they did fix an audio bug that caused fall damage. Play every time you'd fall, it would just keep going on and on. Just a bunch of general audio fixes. And these patch notes they don't detail everything. A lot of the games I've seen the alpha developers, they don't put every single thing they've done because that would just take forever. But yeah, and that's warning now. There's a spoiler coming up in here. If you haven't noticed it yet, because when you get to play and you're exploring, so I'm warning you now. If you want to just turn it off or mute it for a minute. Otherwise, all right, here we go. They have added a fire barrel in the Carter Hydro Dam. So now, if you're up in that area on the map there, you're going to be able to see you're going to be able to add a fire barrel, so you'll be able to warm up in there, and that's not a bad area to camp out. Actually, that's pretty nice. So kudos to that. And now they increased the durability of the can opener, which I thought it was a little low in it, but that's so it won't break so easily. So that's a little nice thing. And they've done a lot of wolf fixes, not really in our favor though. But now they fixed some issues with the wolf attacks interrupting your gear inspection, eating and drinking, and fire starting. So that won't interrupt that now. But now they can interrupt your foraging and outdoor rest. So now you got to be a little more careful about the wolves. Something to watch out for. And your fatigue penalties will not be active during rest now. So that's a good thing. Another good thing plus on our side is the fuel sources. They increased the heating radius of the hardwood, softwood, and reclaimed wood fuel types. That is nice. And they fixed the player not immediately starting to take burn damage if they build a fire directly at their feet. I think they did that purposely to me, but I've done that before. But so yeah, you want to make sure fire's a little bit farther away from you. Just a little helpful tip. Another thing, I'm glad they did this because I've noticed this. I've spawned a bunch of times. They show the player will not spawn too close to wolves, because I've spawned and there's been a wolf literally like 5 feet from me. I'm like, really? Really? Alright. And they've actually, because one thing I noticed, this is kind of actually an exploit almost, but I didn't ever try it, so they prevented players from repairing a tool using that same tool. That's kind of funny. And the weather frequencies have been tuned. So actually, I haven't really noticed that because I haven't got to play more than 5 minutes. Sadly, I do apologize. I will bring you more footage as soon as I get it going again. And the blizzard minimum max duration has been reduced. So that's hopefully, because sometimes blizzard would be going like a day and a half, and I'd just be sitting in the cabin. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Apparently there was a bug where wolves were occasionally disappearing on the onset of a struggle. I've never actually had that. That would kind of been nice. Another thing I did notice when I did get to play for that little bit, there's a clock indicator on the HUD whenever time accelerates when you're doing something, rifling in drawers, what have you. That's going to show up now. Pretty nice. And they added a partial reward if melting snow is interrupted partway through. So if something happens and you're melting snow, they'll still get part of that. There's one thing I love how players find these exploits. I never seem to find these, but they fixed an exploit where you can increase the amount you are melting or boiling while a melt boil is in progress. That's kind of nice. That would have been nice. And they actually taken into account the exhaustion penalty now when it carries into your maximum carrying capacity. That's going to be lower, so more realistic. And I made the Stormliner track the weight of the amount of fuel inside it. Now, partially eaten food now shows the appropriate amount of weight, which I'm not really sure about that because I always seem to eat the whole thing. I don't know if you guys want to tell me there's some we can only eat part of it or not. I'm not really sure. Should bring you up to date on that. And they updated Alan's cave spawn point to face the cave opening. And they removed the gamepad controls and all the references to that, because they haven't put that in yet. Another thing I also want to talk about, I haven't mentioned this already, is that they're making this game, they're actually developing it also for the Oculus Rift, which I haven't really gotten into Oculus Rift yet, because it's my, just generally noticed that all the games on the Oculus Rift are pretty much just horror games, and that's something I'm not totally into. As you can see my review of Daylight. Oh my god, that was a horrible game. Let's never mention that again. But, yeah, they're bringing back the Oculus Rift, which actually does fit in with the field of view. I could see getting into the Oculus Rift with this game. That'd be kind of neat. I kind of would like to see my feet. That's just my preference. Alright, there you have it, guys. That's everything I've got for this version of the patch notes on 0.073. And I will bring you a new gameplay video as soon as we get a fix here. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not something on my end. Because it is just that game. I've checked out other games. I've checked everything on my computer. Everything's fine. But every time I get about couple minutes into the long dark, it just totally freaks out on me. So I do apologize. We'll bring that as soon as I can. Once again, props again to check that out. It's on my last video. He's got a little link to his image. I'll put the link in the notes there too. I'll give him a round of applause for that wonderful, wonderful map. Very nice. That's everything I got for the patch notes right now, guys. So be sure to like and subscribe. Can't remember my words right now. I've recorded this so many times. I do apologize. But yeah, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.